not one of them sort of players. He's one of those sort of players who needs to be productive on the ball. If he's not going to give you Berbatov. They're not going to give you that, or your team's under the cosh. But when they're on form and you're giving them a lot of the ball, they're very talented.
Spring and Sean Weston, I'm pleased to say the first time I spoke to Sean here on the show, he had this really grainy webcam. Very, very grainy. Could hardly see him. He's obviously had a good Christmas.
And he's been to IKEA. He's got a lot of the furniture in the background. There's a little Christmas IKEA visit, I think, wasn't there?
Hello, Sean.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Welcome. Well, thank you for welcoming us to your living room. Very nice indeed. Where do you stand on the Joe Cole debate? I was listening to the radio earlier before the show began, and some West Ham fans were coming on saying, well, hang on a minute, we're not getting really a Joe Cole who's got loads of miles on the clock. He's past his best. Are you of that persuasion, or do you believe that he's got something to prove and he can do it under Sam Allardyce?
Yeah, well, there are two camps. There are a lot of people getting very excited about the return of the prodigal son. I'm in the other camp where I'm a bit cynical, wary of, I got very excited when Freddie Ljungberg got signed in 2007. Look what happened there. He's past his best. I supported him when the first time round, and I think he's incredible. But will he stay fit? Will he have the confidence? Will he add something to the team? And there's the money as well. It looks very good. It's a free transfer. If the rumours to be believed, all the papers have got different figures. Liverpool are going to give him £3 to £4 million. He's supposed to be on up to £92,000 a week. Some say as low as 70, and he's supposed to take a drop to 60,000. Well, even at 60,000 over 2.5 years, that's another 7.8 million. It's a big investment for West Ham. I just hope it comes off, and I'll be supporting him there Saturday, going to the Man U game, and I hope he scores. But there's a little bit that just keeps me back, and I'll tell you what it is, and a lot of West Ham fans will say this. There is once where he kissed the badge. He kissed the Chelsea badge, and that is, our problem with Frank Lampard. Kissing the Chelsea badge from a West Ham boy doesn't go down well.
Now, Sean, to be fair, I actually thought that if you compared Frank Lampard to Joe Cole, I thought Joe Cole still held in quite high esteem and affection, because it was quite vitriolic when Frank Lampard left, and there was a lot of turn and front. But I thought that Joe Cole was held in quite high esteem.
He is, and they always, he's always good to us. He always says in his interviews that he's got a soft spot for West Ham, and he looks at our results. He always comes over to the fans and gives them a clap, and they respond and sing his name. Unlike Frank, who takes a slightly different likes to wind us up.
Hey, I'm not sure. You do give him a bit of stick when he left, and you gave him a lot of fans, fat Frank Lampard, and they weren't particularly kind when he was there.
I know. He's all right. He comes from a West Ham family at the end of the day. His mother, his father's West Ham, and they will be West Ham. He might put on a show, but he's still a West Ham, East End family.
Aren't you pleased in this day and age that you are getting a player back who does have some feeling for the club? And also, when I said before, Sam Allardyce has got an excellent reputation of getting the best out of older players. When he's at Bolton, he knows how to manage them, and he knows when and where to play them. He's very big on the sports science side of it. So I actually think, especially at the Bowling Ground, that Joe Cole will give you something different when teams come and just try and defend. Yeah,
well, as I say, I hope he stays fit. I hope he goes, gets goals. What I don't want to do is lose Diarmi over this. I hope we're not balancing the books and Diarmi goes out the other way because of his exit clause. Because Diarmi has changed, the team this year, and we've really been missing him when he's gone. And I hope it's not one in, one out. So, I do hope he does well. I'll be the first to applaud him and celebrate his goals. But I'm going to be a little bit pessimistic on how well he'll do on his second term.
Right, I'm going to squeeze a couple in very quickly. I need a couple of 10-second answers from you, Sean, because West Ham linked with Marouane Chamakh from Arsenal. Happy with that?
I'm not so sure, really. I mean, it hasn't worked out for Arsenal. I mean, Andy Carroll's not worked for us, so no, not happy.
Actually, while you were just speaking there, he said, I would be. Tell him why.
You get him out, get him off. You can have him,
exactly.
Sean. And I tell you, we'll swap. We'll have Diarmi. You can have Chamakh. Because the army's exactly what Arsenal need.
Let's get rid of Andy Carroll.
One other quick one, very quickly, Sean. Ricky Lambert. West Ham have been linked with Ricky Lambert at Southampton. He's 31 years old. Would you be happy with him? He scored 8 goals so far this season.
Yeah.
Southampton have already said, you know, you can get stuff, you're not having him.
But
West Ham will probably
yes
go back.
A big yes from everybody else. I think, you know, Ricky Lambert would fit in one of Sam's teams really, really well. But are Saints going to let him go on the cheap? Absolutely not. Are our chairman going to play over the odds? Absolutely not. So it's a non-starter, in my view.
John, where are you on the way that Sam Allardyce plays his football? You know, we've got this, you know, the famous West Ham Academy and the West Ham way. Are you just bothered about results, or do you want to see like an easier on the eye style of football?
Yeah, well, I think he mixes it up a bit. To say he just plays long ball, you know, we've got to survive in this. This season's all about survival. What is it? 57% extra money next year from
61.4 billion if you end up bottom next season.
So, you know, we've got to... Survival's the main thing. And I think he has missed it. I mean, he's given us a 3-1 win against Chelsea. Who can be disappointed against that?
That was Diarmi, Sean. That was Diarmi coming on in the second half and completely running riot.
Absolutely. But, you know, so you can't say it's all boring. I've enjoyed some of the games. So, you know, it's all about results, isn't it? So we've started to sing Sam's name. And you know, I think he deserves the applause and deserves the support of West Ham for what he did last season and what he's, you know, got us mid-table this season.
Sean, really appreciate you coming on as always. Hope to speak to you again soon, possibly later in the transfer window. We're going to talk more about Demba Ba's transfer after the